Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mike Tries. Today, I'm trying Destiny, the brand new game from Bungie. It's going to be a little different episode of Mike Tries today, and instead of doing a live recording and commentary, I'm going to be doing voiceover over some footage I had recorded over the weekend. So it's about 3 hours of footage I condensed down to about 12-13 minutes, and I'm just going to go ahead and discuss the game. It's still going to be Mike Tries to its truest form, because at the end of the clip, I'm going to tell you whether or not you should try it. So just sit back and let's begin our look at Destiny. Alright, so what is Destiny? Destiny, like I said, is Bungie's newest first-person first-person shooter sort of sci-fi game. Bungie, of course, as you know, is very famous for the Halo series on the 360 and for the Xbox. My description of Destiny, I'd say, would be Borderlands meets Halo meets MMO. It's got all the good sort of fun of the first-person shooter, all while feeling online at the same time. What we're looking at now is the class selection. Destiny comes with 3 classes. You have the Titan, who is your sort of strong guy, your Hunter, who is more speed-based and their abilities, and then you have the Warlock, which uses more magic and is able to, like I said, hurl balls of energy at your enemies, which is what I used. Now, this is the character creation screen, which is pretty okay so far. I liked it. There's a lot of customization you can use. Unfortunately, I did not find an option for beards, so, And also this character creation screen, you can see I'm using a cursor, because that's how you move around and select items in Destiny. It's that sort of little sphere thing. And the first time I started using it, I was very annoyed because I accidentally hit the finish button on my character and I didn't like it, and it went straight to the cutscene, which I could not skip. So I had to go back, recreate my character from scratch, but it was okay because I ended up with a better character, and actually the cursor was, I ended up not mining. The very first thing I realized in the game was that I could see my feet, and I was super excited about that, so props for Bungie for making that possible. The combat in Destiny is something that really works well. It's tight, the controls are great, there's variations in how you want to approach your enemies, and there's just a lot of fun to play around with. The game world itself is beautiful. It's a lot of... I played it on the PS3 in the beta, and what you're seeing right now doesn't do the game justice, unfortunately. So the game is beautiful. There were some spots that were just really made me stop and think, are you freaking serious? Like this right here with these very large pixels on the screen. I was not sure exactly what's going on, but hey, I figure it's a beta. Might as well just dance it out, and hopefully Bungie works that out. I'm actually getting the game on the PS4, and so it should be pretty interesting to play around and see how that is. The game actively encourages you to walk around and explore. You can pick up these green loot chests, which contain some of the in-game currency called Glimmer, and perhaps maybe a weapon or an item you can use. The loot chests work a little bit differently when you're playing with friends. If one person finds it, that person gets the loot chests. When you're exploring around, and like I said, the game actively encourages you to explore around, sometimes you come across enemies which are way too out of your league. At the moment, as you can see right here, I'm fighting some Hallowed Knight. I did not know what it was. I tried shooting it, saw it was immune, and then ended up getting my butt kicked. So, but it's pretty cool. Not a Hallowed Knight, it's a Hallowed Acolyte. But it was pretty cool. It gives me something to think, okay, I'm gonna go and work up my character. Another advantage of exploring is finding dead ghosts, which can be revived and provide additional lore to the game's universe through something called the Grimoire, which is a cool concept, but unfortunately you have to use the game's companion app to go do it, or go online, so you can't read the lore in the game. You have to go outside the game to read it, which I think is really stupid. I would have hoped for something more like a codex, a la Mass Effect, where you can just read in-game. The sound is also really great, and the commentary, Peter Dinklage's voice. Now, I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones, but I thought it was just kind of subpar.
Here, I found a rifle. Grab it.
Trip mines. Don't touch them. Fallen ships this close to the surface. Move.
But the game does shine, it has its good sound spots. There are various bosses in the game and tons of different enemies. As you're seeing right here, this is just one of the bosses for one of the missions in the game. And there are a couple different ways you can approach them. When I was playing, it just seemed like sort of run, gun, hide, run, gun, hide. So hopefully when there are different bosses you encounter, I hope to see some different variations in terms of how to approach them. But overall, the boss battles were challenging. Especially when completed by yourself. They were a lot of fun, and you felt very accomplished after you completed them. After you finish your missions, you go to the central hub in the game, which is called the Tower, and it's basically where all the game's shops are, and the Bringo and bounties, and just overall hang out. It's sort of a social hub. When you leave the missions, there are all other players there who are going to the shops and to get items. One thing I discovered at this time was that you can dance, and also according to this, wave, which is actually bow. So like I said, there are vendors in the tower. Some of the vendors, for example this Crucible Quartermaster, you gain Crucible points when you play multiplayer, which is the Crucible. It's called the Crucible. And you can actually level up get Crucible ranks and later buy more items. One of the things about the NPCs, though, is just I wish they said more than hi.
Tough world out there, Guardian.
One of the cool things you can do in the tower is get bounties, which are sort of like little perks you can work towards. You can select one and then go through little challenges and unlock them. And once you do unlock them through multiplayer playing the game, you can go and turn them in to the bounty tracker, and you will get rewards, which is a very cool thing. The bounties refresh every, I think, couple hours or so. They refresh every day, at least a couple times a day. Now onto the multiplayer. Now I'm experienced in playing first-person shooters, from everything from Battlefield to Call of Duty to Halo at some point. So I'm pretty experienced when it comes to the first-person shooter multiplayer scene. Destiny very much plays, I'd say, like a mix between Titanfall and Halo. It's light in the way that you're able to move around fast. It's very exciting. There's a lot going on. The one mode that was available at the time when I was recording this was a domination style game mode, and the game matches were actually 12 minutes long, which I thought was way too long for a round of domination. But I guess I'm just used to playing Call of Duty rounds of domination. Regardless though, it's a ton of fun. It really shone when you had someone else to play with. I was playing with a friend, and we played multiplayer. Well, we did the Crucible for a couple hours, but we played the actual game for probably 5 hours straight, and it was just a ton of fun. I've never actually had an opportunity to play something like this with a friend, sit down and just play the game. During the beta, there were a few maps available. One of them took place on Venus, and one of them took place on the Moon. And what I really liked about the game modes, the maps, were there's a lot of sort of obstacles where you can run, you can hide, you can just pop out of a corner without the enemy realizing you were there. One of the cool things about the Moon map is it had these vehicles called pikes. Basically like your in-game scooter, which you use to get around on the maps, but it has a gun attached to it, and it makes they're always a hot commodity in the game, and they're very exciting. One of the fun things to do is just sort of hover over a point you're trying to capture with the pike, and just obliterate any enemy that comes to try to wipe you out. It's always a bit fun.
You captured Zone B. Zone C secure.
One of the cool things also about multiplayer is that it takes your character that you've been playing in the game and uses your character. You can level up that character, and you can have your same loadout in Crucible as you would if you were just go into playing the game by itself, which is pretty cool. It gives you that that sort of feeling of customization. Hey, this is my player who I've been playing with, and it's just to me, I thought that was really cool. It reminded me of a lot like in MMO, like Guild Wars 2, where you use your same character in the multiplayer as you would when you're playing the actual campaign itself. Now, the beta introduced something called the Iron Banner a couple days into it, which was same thing as Crucible. It's multiplayer, but it does not restrict your weapon's power or anything like that. You know, in the regular Crucible, everybody's on the same level. In Iron Banner, you know, anything goes. There's no sort of handicaps placed on everybody to make everybody even. It's definitely a lot tougher, makes it more challenging, and you can sort of get your butt kicked if you don't have the better weapons, or you haven't invested as much time to get some items. But the good thing is that while you're playing multiplayer, whether you do awesome or whether you do terrible, there are random awards handed out, and you get different you can get different armor items or different weapons, which is also really cool. So I'm glad that Bungie has put that in there, so even if you do terrible, you can still walk away from the battle with something. In the end, the multiplayer I thought was a blast. I'm definitely going to be playing this. This is definitely something worth getting in Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus for. It's just so much fun multiplayer. And multiplayer was so good. I'm normally a hey, let's play the campaign, and multiplayer comes second. Multiplayer in Destiny was so damn good, and I was very impressed with it, even for the beta. It was just those few maps, and it was just so much fun to play with friends. So that's been Mike Tries Destiny. I'm gonna say it right now, this game is a must-buy. I tried it. You should try it. If you have the Destiny beta, or you have a beta key right now, go try it. The beta's going on, I believe, through the 26th. It's a ton of fun. I'm very happy with it, and again, I highly recommend it. So this has been Mike Tries. I tried it. I loved it. I cannot wait until September when my PlayStation 4 arrives with Destiny bundle. I'm gonna play it all the time. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative and enjoyable. Thanks for watching. Take care.